Welcome and good evening, race fans. The clock is ticking down to the start of today's practice session here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, the setting for this weekend's Singapore Grand Prix. You have to say, since its inaugural Grand Prix back in 2008, Singapore has been a great Formula One success story. It was Formula One's first ever night race, taking place under these powerful spotlights, with the different coloured lights in the city surrounding the circuit. It definitely makes for a fantastic racing experience for both the drivers and for the fans.
It's certainly fantastic for the fans, but a huge challenge for the drivers. Racing at night is one thing, but on top of that, you're in amongst the barriers on an incredibly bumpy surface, not to mention the extreme humidity that drivers face. All of this makes it the most physically and mentally demanding race on the calendar.
This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
It's pretty quiet out on track. We should consider getting out there. Don't push the car just yet. The track is still green. Try and take it easy for the first couple of laps. There's a lot of teams out on track. Track is looking congested. If you need to find some more time, remember that corner exit is more important than corner entry. Slow in, fast out, smooth on the power.
It's been a productive day for Kimi Raïkkönen. He's managed to get P1 in today's practice session. It's late in the evening here in Singapore and it's time for qualifying, so settle down and enjoy the action. How will Nico Rosberg be approaching this qualifying session?
Well, he'll know that it's crucial to start this race in pole position, so he has to deliver the maximum when it really matters. We all know he's got the speed in qualifying, he's shown that time and time again, but now's the time to make it happen.
That's the end of qualifying and it's Kimi Raïkkönen who takes the top spot for tomorrow's race.
Well, he's got to be pleased with that. He's worked hard for it and deserves the result. He'll now turn his sights to tomorrow for what should be a very exciting race.
The lights are on and shining brightly here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Escaping some early overheating problems, it was none other than Kimi Raïkkönen, the Iceman, that secured the coveted pole position for today's race. He'll want to keep on top of any problems and see this one home with as little fuss as possible.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
One of the new kids on the block this season is Felipe Nasser. The young Brazilian has been adjusting to F1 life this year with Sauber. How do you think he's fared?
He started well. Obviously, he had that time at Williams last year as their test driver, which looks like it's definitely helped. It's meant he's been able to bring that experience with him to Sauber and hit the ground running.
You have a great chance of taking home the win today. Let's make this work for us. tyres are okay right now. We anticipate good levels of grip for the next few laps at least. percent of our starting load, 75% fuel remaining. start to find it a bit more slippery out there. The brakes are in the optimal temperature zone. Separates you. 9 laps to go. You're leading the pack, P1. Have Sebastian behind. The gap is around half a minute. The pit window is open. Pit window currently open. 9 laps to go. Release. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. You'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Looks like we've just hit the 15 kilo mark in terms of fuel. 15 kilos of fuel remain. We have a slight excess of fuel. We have some spare fuel to burn. Sebastian is behind you. The gap is 11 seconds. 8 laps to go. Separates you. We're losing about 5 seconds a lap. This pace is far too slow. 7 laps to go. Okay, the boots aren't looking too warm at this point. We should have plenty of life left in them. Let's make sure we keep managing them properly. race on this compound. 6 laps to go.
A very memorable race, and one that Kimi Raikkonen won't forget anytime soon, after a wonderful win for the Ferrari driver today.
What a weekend it's been, and one that's been thoroughly enjoyable.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.